The following statements you are about to hear are not made to offend or hurt anybody's feelings, although we may discuss serious topics. It's all entertainment, man. In all reality, don't take too serious. Have fun, laugh a little bit, relax. Let's talk about it. Shades Talk.
Yeah. So we was talking about Bronny James earlier and his development. He getting a lot of hate. So where does he line up?
Man, Bronny James, like I said, where he lines up, I'm sticks to the answer. He's still at the bottom.
Okay.
He's still at the bottom. He's still got a lot of work that he got to do to. I think if he wants to, see the floor,
yeah,
at least, or create some stock for himself. Right now, the only stock he has is his name. And if he has the possibility of bringing his dad with him.
He has potential though?
Definitely has potential. Definitely has potential.
So they picked him up at what, like number 50 or something like that?
Yep.
So when you get in the 50 pick, he's doing what he's supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying? Like he wasn't a high draft pick. So they didn't I don't think they expected him to come in and produce and be an asset off the bat.
You're right. And I think, like I said, I had a big conversation about this, and I think that it's not the organization, they know what they expect of him.
Right.
But the media doesn't. Or the media is spinning this, a narrative like, his name and who he is and what he can do, or the little stuffs they want to boast it up, or they want to show everybody's, comments. And I think it's doing him a disservice. Does his father a disservice? Does everybody a disservice, really? But I mean, that's just what comes with the
territory.
With the territory,
That's true.
Hopefully, he'll be able to get through all this. I know one of the Russell Westbrook, he went through that criticism real tough, but he stayed strong. But a lot of players can't take it. Look at Ben Simmons.
Yeah.
When they started talking about him, he just flopped his whole game. He basically gave up basketball just to be out there.
Yeah, they said he was working on his game. I don't know if it's a mental block, if it's an actual injury that was affecting him. I mean, he can play his butt off. He could probably be one of the better players or the best player in that conference because he has an asset. His shooting is a little bit touchy. It's all it has been, but as far as his defense, athletic ability, ball handling skills, all that, he has it. Size, speed, but
I mean, he has it, and he had it at one point, and then it's like one of the Monstars came and took some of his powers away, and this is what we got. It's still a remnant, so we're still waiting on him to give him his powers back, so he can be an asset to a team. Until then, he can't shoot a free throw or to be a dependable starter on any team.
That's true.
And shoot, the Bronny playing better than him. So
that's pretty tough right there, yeah.
That's somebody I could definitively say, okay, hey, that guy's in the NBA getting paid X amount of money.
Fact.
Shoot.
So I'm a fan. I like Gil's Arena. I like Gilbert Arenas. I like his take on sports. I think he's super honest, whether you like his takes or not. And I'm just looking for honesty.
No.
At this point. Now, I have an issue with some people that talk about sports, and they are or were professional athletes at one point in time. And I feel like just because you're a professional athlete now, you're gonna lose some credibility when you start talking crazy.
Okay.
So the one dude I really cannot stand to listen to is Rashad McCants.
Rashad McCants.
Yes. He's on Gil's Arena. And the reason I say that is if you haven't heard it, I'll play it for you. But he has this take on DeMar DeRozan.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that he's not a bucket getter. His game is not, he's not a go-to guy. You know what I'm saying? And he's a franchise player, 20-plus points per game. He can get to them spots. You know what I'm saying? Super athletic. He's been the guy on multiple teams. And it's still that guy. You know what I'm saying? And probably, top 20 player in the league. So I'm trying to figure out where he is getting. Is it clout chasing when you say shit like that? Is it his honest opinion, or is he just hating?
Well, I mean, I can't really put my finger on who the guy you're talking about that said it is, but you know, from my honest opinion on DeRozan, I mean, I really like DeRozan. His you know, his effort, his hard work, and you can always see in his game, you know, in every game, he's putting it all on the floor. The only thing about DeRozan is that he does lack a little inconsistency. Lacks some consistency. So he gets a little inconsistent. So sometimes, you know, where, I mean, I'm not saying all players, you know, they kind of fall short sometime, you know, but even when LeBron James, as old as he is, you know, he's going to carry that team. You can look to him, if they don't make the playoffs for whatever the reason, it's like, oh, LeBron wasn't playing, or, you know,
he's gonna bear the weight.
He's gonna bear the weight, right. And you know, so I'm just trying to say, you know, as an older player like him, if you think of him and you think of other players that carry their teams consistently, shoot, Steph Curry did for a long time, you know, but they're kind of they're starting to get old and fall off,
right?
You know what I mean? And so, you know, I could say Steph Curry could consistently carried his team. Like, you could depend that he was going to hit those threes. They're going to, you know, and so, like, with DeRozan, I just feel like they fell short, and we never saw them in the playoffs. Like, ever since he got to Chicago, you know, like, he was at the Raptors, right?
Right.
And he was phenomenal there. I mean, he was, and like I said, every time I see him playing at, you know, at the Bulls, he's giving 110%. And,
for sure.
But he's not consistent enough for people to say they don't need a third piece. Yeah. And they did have what's his name? Levine. I think Levine's gone now. I think Levine's going this year. So, you know, I don't know what's going to really happen with him. Like, but so I mean, if you want to, you know, sure, there's some critiques that could be a little bit more critical than what I just did. Right. I'm just being on the nice side, saying, yeah, I mean, definitely he's a great player, awesome guy, good on and off the court guy, but you know, to be fair, his consistency, he's lacked consistency, and not being able to get his team past the second round.
The guy's name is Rashad McCants. He used to play for UNC and then had a career with the Timberwolves and
Rashad. Hey, I
about that. All right, well,
I ain't gonna
lie, that's kind of disrespectful.
I don't remember.
I don't even know the guy. So that's the thing, though. People would just say anything to get notoriety. That's the point I'm trying to make. The simple fact, because you love sports, so the simple fact you don't even know who this dude is, and you follow the game of basketball, and he was a professional basketball player. Are you clout chasing, or are you legitimately have an issue with his game? Like, where does the hate come from? Because it's not if you tell me you don't like a player for whatever reason, that's fine. But if you say that you don't respect his game, he's not this, he doesn't do that, that's like me saying Steph Curry, he ain't no spot up shooter.
Right.
He can't hit no threes like that on the go. Like, when have you know what I'm saying? He's not that guy from behind the arc.
Especially if you used to be a player. I mean, did you ever stop the guy? And, you know, I mean, for someone to be such a critical person, saying I don't respect his game, but you see the guy doing it night in, night out.
Night in, night out.
That's some hate, and I would call that clout chasing.
Yeah, I don't, and that's why I don't like the clout chasing. But you don't have to clout chase, bro.
Some people, they want to get trolls and want to get people to ruffle some feathers.
Yeah, that's the difference between and that's why I said Gil. I like Gil because I feel like he gives an honest take. You say you don't like Gil.
No, I like Gil sometimes, but Gil, man, he just be going.
He ODs a little bit.
He ODs, but for LeBron and I just think he has some real fundamental perspectives that are just kind of outlandish. You know, when he tries to talk about how, get it. I know he says that, you know, all the new talent is way better than the old talent.
Right.
I agree and I disagree, you know what I mean? Because I do agree that everybody nowadays on the basketball teams, they all can dribble real good.
For sure.
You know, remember when we were young, and one was just coming out.
Yeah.
And so we was all trying to do that. We were learning that.
Right.
Well, these kids, they all know it already.
Right.
Like, you know, it's not just one or two kids that are just really good dribblers and crossing up. They all can do it. They all can shoot threes. Look at this. When we were little, we played NBA Jam and we saw all them crazy dunks on the video game. I've never imagined in a million years
you see that shit in real
these
life.
people are really doing that right now in real life. So I got to give it to the boys now. Yeah, their athleticism is off the chain. But when it comes to, you know, better players, you know, the mindset, people understanding the game, what it takes to win, you know, practicing, you know, the dedication to finish the game all the way out. Where you got players that kind of fall short and they can't hit those game winners, where back in the day, that's what those players lived for, was the fourth quarter. You know what I mean? These players now get overly emotional, where back then, ref calls a call, it's just what it is. You only had two players, or you had a player every year that was just the main player that everybody said, hey, Dennis Rodman, or who's the other dude, Meta World Peace. You know, those players were like the poster people, you know, but everybody now is always crying, whining, and then you can see the change in their game because, you know, because the game isn't going their way. So it's just different dynamics, you know, but I don't think that the players are whack, you know, especially when it comes to Jordan. Like, man, when you really think about it, those guys were great back then in Jordan's era. It's just that Jordan outshined them. You had players that they just couldn't do nothing. Like, we were just talking about Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen seems kind of mediocre when next to Jordan. You're like, yeah, Jordan's way better than Scottie Pippen.
Right.
But Scottie Pippen really might be better than Dwayne Wade.
Scottie Pippen was a dog.
I mean, real talk.
He's a game changer.
He might be better than Dwayne Wade.
Well, he's definitely a game changer.
Maybe not, because Dwayne Wade, yes, he could score. Scottie Pippen could score, but Scottie Pippen also was running the point guard. He's he's rebounding. He's doing a lot.
Right.
He's doing a lot, you know. So, and I can't say that if Scottie Pippen had a Shaq in his prime, that they couldn't win a championship together.
That's true.
Scottie and Shaq might have been a good play. So, I mean, that's what I'm saying. When you got players like that back in the day, I mean, those players, to me, there's still players in the league right now that I don't think can hold a candle to those players. Dwayne Wade still destroy people right now in the league. Scottie Pippen will go to the league and give people buckets.
Right.
You know, shoot. Think about Kevin Garnett. Brought Kevin Garnett back in his prime. There ain't too many big men that can run with him down low.
Yeah. So I probably should have looked this stuff up before I'm gonna speak on it, but it is what it is. When it comes to like the talent in the NBA, I feel like the talent is better. The athletes may not be that much difference, but there are far superior athletes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's better talent.
Yeah, there's better talent. There's the training is far superior than what these guys were getting. The health plan, you know what I'm saying? The technology, the rehab situations. Guys got hurt back in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
Career-ending injuries, and there's guys that are extending their careers long into the future based off of just health and wealth of today. Now, with that said, everything gets better with time. You know what I'm saying? And I made a post about this earlier, and motherfuckers got on their feelings, and some people agreed. It is what it is. It's not a personal. If I wanted to say Michael Jordan is the greatest person of all time, I could say that, and I could honestly be okay with saying that. But being a fan of basketball, seeing Michael Jordan play, watching Kobe's career from beginning to end, watching LeBron's career from beginning to current, I feel like I am old enough but young enough to appreciate what's going on with basketball currently. And these dudes are doing some amazing things. If I were to go back and we think about the best teams in NBA history, you know what I'm saying? There's some teams that come to mind of like the Detroit Pistons. And I'm not talking about the Detroit Pistons with the bad boys. I'm talking about Chauncey Billups' Detroit Pistons. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking about Golden State. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. The Detroit Pistons, man, that team, Chauncey Billups, Rick Hamilton.
That was a cold team, bro.
That's like an ideal basketball team. A whole bunch of players dedicated to win, playing their roles. Nobody's the superstar.
Right.
But they played the role so to the T. And you got to give Rick Hamilton some credit.
For sure.
I mean, he really, other than Kobe Bryant, and nobody really gives him this credit. And that's crazy. We don't even talk about him. Rick Hamilton, he listened to Jordan. That's one dude that Jordan trained all the way up.
Yeah.
And when he went to another team, that boy went and got a championship.
Yeah, bro. And
you
this is,
give it to him.
And I'm gonna give all respect to Jordan because Jordan was an elite talent and would still be an elite talent if he played today because that's just how much better he was than everybody else physically, mentally, and technique-wise. He had a skill that was far superior above his competition. But when I go back and I think about the best teams in NBA, and maybe I am a victim of my own circumstances as far as the era I was born in. You know what I'm saying? I came up in the Kobe, LeBron era, even though I was born when Jordan was still playing. I was a kid. You know, I was a little kid. I couldn't really appreciate what I was seeing. I was a big fan. Then when I started understanding the game of basketball, Kobe was playing, LeBron, and still playing. You know what I'm saying? So now I see what the greatness looks like. I'm going to be honest with you. When you talk about the great teams of the NBA, they always bring up the Boston Celtics, the one with, who was it? Bird,
Robert Parrish,
McHale, Robert Parrish, and
who else did they have?
And then before that, it was Bill Russell and Bob Cousy. You know what I'm saying? But guess what? I'm going to be honest with you. None of those Celtic teams are beating the big three. They're not beating KG, you know what I'm saying, Paul Pierce, and Ray Allen, in my opinion. I don't see them beating them. You know what I'm saying? And I love Larry Bird. Larry Bird is a dog. He could probably play today too and still be doing his thing. But I don't think they could beat the big three.
I don't think they could.
And that's, you know what I'm saying? And that's just the big three. And Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and LeBron James played and dominated.
Won a championship, right? Big three won a championship, right?
Yeah, they won a championship. Yep.
Who just won a championship this year?
Damn,
who won? They beat Dallas Mavericks.
Boston just won. Boston Celtics won the championship.
Do you think they would beat do you think the current team would beat the big three?
Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Drew Holiday.
You think they could beat the big three?
The big three?
Rajon Rondo.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I don't think so because you got Raja, right? That's a battle. Him and Drew, that is a battle.
That is a crazy battle.
That's a crazy battle defensively, offensively. Like, that is a crazy battle. And people don't give Paul Pierce enough credit because I think he kind of did it to himself. He made himself a meme.
He did.
At the end of the day.
He never talk so much, man.
Yeah.
People would talk about Paul Pierce, man. They just don't like him.
But he was a dog.
Dog, man.
I would take him on my squad any day.
He's destroying Tatum all night.
Yeah, he destroyed a lot of legends.
But
you know what I'm saying?
If they was playing right now, he would destroy Tatum.
He'd be at his neck.
And he's got
Jaylen Brown would probably go off, you know what I'm saying?
Jaylen Brown would have kissed some of
He would have gone off, but KG would have held it down.
They had Ray Allen.
So I'm saying they had Ray Allen, they had Kendrick Perkins, a big physical body in the middle.
Yeah.
So I mean,
yeah. I
don't think they would have beat him.
I don't think they would have beat him either. So that's what I mean by when they say, you know, these new players, the they're all talented.
They're good, talented,
Definitely,
but
because they're all who's that white guy that's on the team? He can shoot for the Celtics
right now.
Right now, that's he's like 7 foot.
What is his name? Oh, it'll come back.
Yeah, but he shoot with deep. He's a shooter, man. He can shoot, or he can shoot. He can do way more than what the centers could do back then. He could do more than what KG could do.
For sure.
KG's not shooting threes.
For sure.
He can't stop KG.
He can't stop KG. And KG he's gonna do some things to you.
He's gonna destroy.
He's gonna make you think.
Yep. And
you know
KG can play defense.
He can play defense.
If the dude try to step out, he's still tall. He'll take that dude right out of his game.
That's what I'm saying, bro. So when you're breathing hard, you getting your chest touched every time you come down the floor. You getting that shoulder put into you. What are you gonna do? You gonna rise to the occasion, or you gonna fold? You feel me? So it's just one of those things. It's like I don't know who will win. I feel like the game is a lot faster. The speed of the game is different.
Absolutely.
There's no half court basketball, really, to be honest with you. You can play half court basketball, but you getting the ball up the floor and this ball movement and there's a shot. There's threes raining on your head. You know what I'm saying? Period. You got a 7'7" guy in the name of Wemby that's moving like a guard that you've never seen a player like that. It's like when Dirk got in the league, you never saw a player like that. So there's players that changed the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if I took a lot of the top talent today and I put them back in 1991 against the 91 Bulls, because you know who they played in 91, I think? It was the Lakers. It was Lakers with like Moses Malone, Magic Johnson,
Bulls versus
AC
Lakers.
Green. That's who they played for the championship, for the 91 championship.
They made the Nintendo video game.
Yeah, you feel me?
Bulls versus Lakers.
That's who they played.
Yeah, I remember that.
Which is nothing taken away from them players. But none of those guys, outside of Moses Malone and Magic, I would even consider to be top 100 talents in the NBA within the last 20 years. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I understand. I can see that.
So, and then Moses is probably working his way down the list every year. You know, I don't think Magic will ever be taken off that list because he changed the game.
So, but then, even though we got these people that physically played a certain way, or they may have shot a certain way, so maybe people have to step out, make people's games, or change their orientation.
Yeah. But
we also got to factor in that they made actual changes to the game to allow people to get more space.
Yep.
So, you know, you can't hand check, you can't, you know, put a body on somebody.
Yeah.
You know, so like if we were to be playing a game where we got a basket and everybody's roughhousing, trying to lay it up and stuff, well, to be good at that game, you got to be big and strong.
But didn't that change in Jordan's?
But then when they say, yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
So then when we were saying like, all right, well, we're going to start calling more fouls and stuff where you can't do all that. Well, now it doesn't require the big and strong guys anymore. Now we got these guys outside just shooting these threes, you know, and you can't touch them. So they can they can jack up points and, you know, it makes the game less physical. So I could say that these guys are more talented because they can shoot, but they lack the physical nature to play in yesterday's game. See what I'm saying?
Okay.
You know, and then the guys in yesterday's game lack the talent to be sufficient in this day and age's game. You know what I mean? They probably they could score, you know, but these other guys today, man, they shooting the threes like layups. They come in more threes than layups.
Exactly.
So that's just that's, you know, it balances out really.
So it's like a conundrum, and most people don't understand the history of the game, so they always bring it to that to physical era. They always bring that up when meshing the two eras or comparing the two eras. They say these kids couldn't play back in the day because of the physicality of the game. But in Jordan's heyday, when he first came in the league, super physical. Bad boys laying people out, you know what I'm saying? You couldn't go to the hole without getting touched or put on your back.
That's right.
That just was basketball at the end of the day. But Michael Jordan came along. they changed the game, maybe not for specific needs of Michael Jordan, but they changed the games as far as the defensive things that they could do. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The three in the box. You gotta be so many distance within your man. You know what I'm saying? That zone defense, you cannot apply it anymore. You can't just sit people down there. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So when Jordan's sitting here 1-on-1, opened up, that's not physical basketball. There ain't nobody waiting down there for you. You know what I'm saying? That was only the early part of his career. Mm-hmm. But they changed that to benefit the game so players could score more buckets. You know what I'm saying? It opened up the floor. It created more one-on-one matchups, and it made the scores go higher in the game. That's how you push the offense. Mm. But they changed the game that way. The NBA already changed it. Right. So what are players going to do? They're going to adjust to the way that the game is being played. And you slowly saw that the game changed. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. At one point in time, it was a bunch of one-on-one basketball, which it kind of still is one-on-one basketball, but it's more like running the floor, finding the open spot. You know what I'm saying? The transitions are a lot shorter. It's not come down, get half court, isolate, and go to work. You know, when Shaq was playing, it was the land of the bigs. Everybody's trying to get into Shaq. You had Yao Ming, you know what I'm saying? Sean Bradley. You had all these 7'7" guys or whatever coming in the league. Sabonis. Yeah. For Portland. So everybody needed a big body to compete with that type of player. Right. But then the game transitioned again to Dirk Nowitzki came in. He's a 7'2" guy shooting threes. Now we need tall guys that can shoot threes and handle the ball and play outside, and it's not always posting up. So the players are going to go where the game goes. So the game changes first, and then the players follow. So to say that today's players can't play back then, if today's game was still the same type of game, they would be playing that way. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But I'm a work my game towards the rule set that I'm given. So if I'm watching as a kid and I see that Steph Curry is wilding out, coming down the floor, shooting threes, spreading the floor, that's how I'm going to emulate my game after. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. It's not going to be a bruiser type situation because that's not how the NBA is being played at the time. So people got to get their information right. Players change based on whatever the game is doing. Now, you have some players that change the game. We have game changers, but those are far few between. Most of these dudes that you say play soft basketball, the NBA is soft.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, but you kind of proved my point when we talked about how Michael Jordan, they made that change during his era. And
to benefit him.
To benefit him.
Right.
So when you take away that change, once you take away that change, it makes it harder for him.
For sure.
And that's what I'm saying about today's players. They're 100%. So used to the game at this, play at this way. Right. They could never go back to the other way. Those guys, Michael, if it made things harder for Michael Jordan, it's definitely gonna make things hard for Anthony Edwards. For sure. Well, LeBron James.
Yeah. Well, I think LeBron's going to do what LeBron do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, get cried because he got touched. He gonna have to shack up. He gonna have to get used to carrying cats and dunking with him. Remember Allen Iverson grabbed Shaq?
Yeah, he was doing that for a long time though. You know who got the craziest highlight reel?
I forgot where we left off.
All right, so we was talking about Michael Jordan. This is how I feel about the situation. I'm always going to state I'm a Michael Jordan fan. Michael Jordan is the man. He's an icon. He changed the game forever. He was one of the most skillful, athletic, mentally tough players to ever play the game. And he kind of put the NBA on his back, made it exciting. And that's why the NBA is where it's at today. Plus a couple players after him, but he kind of laid the groundwork. With that said, when Michael Jordan got into the league, he didn't win nothing. It was beating him up. The game was real physical. You know what I'm saying? The NBA kind of changed the way the game needed to be played because they saw that their superstars weren't really getting off. So they tried to cater to the superstars. It's a business. You know what I'm saying? People want to see points on the board. And the one thing you do to put points on the board, call more fouls, space it out, stop zones, you know what I'm saying? Create man-to-man situations so these players can take advantage of the matchups. And that's really what happened to Michael Jordan. And then you'll see the benefit of that style of play to players today, and it's an offensive heavy game. So when they say players are soft, players are going to play the game the way that they've seen it played. So they're going to work on it, and they're going to tailor their game to how they can be successful in the NBA of today?
Well, I'm gonna hold off right there a little bit because they did make some changes, during the Bad Boys era. You know what I mean? But they weren't major changes like the changes that led up, because remember you started the Shaq era, and the Hack of Shaq, and they were still very physical. Hand checking was still allowed,
right?
All the way through to Shaq got to the Lakers. So Kobe Bryant's in the league. It's still a very physical league. Tracy McGrady's in the league. It's a very physical league, But then after the Shaq era, it changed, because when Shaq left the league, or I want to say they stopped allowing hand checking. You feel me? And a lot of the big men are shooting outside shots. But if you had somebody like Shaq in the league, you would have to allow hand checking again. If Shaq was in the league, then they talk about it all the time.
Right.
How could you guard him?
Right.
You just gonna let him back you down? He'd back you down and dunk right on you every time.
Right.
Flush you down. It don't have to be he didn't even have to back you down. All he got to do is just get in position, and he's limber enough where he catch the ball, he turn right around, boop, dunk right on you. See, Wemby Wanyama, he fits this style of play because he's not big and strong like Giannis. Giannis can go right in there and just dunk right over over people. Yeah. He's just not as big as Shaq was. But let Wemby get big and strong like that, then it's domination, because they can't hand check him. They just gonna foul him all the time, and he can shoot.
But he's doing this thing now. He's super successful at his style of play. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna be honest with you. You take Wemby and put him against Shaq. This might be an unpopular opinion, but barbecue chicken. Shaq, there's nothing Shaq will be able to do with him.
Shaq, because he body him. Shaq would destroy him.
In the paint.
Yeah, that's all he got to do.
But what's Shaq going to do with him on the offensive end when he has to play defense?
Shaq.
What's he going to do?
Yeah.
Come pick him up at 3-point, Shaq.
Can't do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Shaq,
he's cooking him. He's driving right by him, or he's going to shoot over top of him.
We talking about a rookie Shaq?
I don't give a fuck. A rookie Shaq?
Rookie
5 year in Shaq, 6 year in Shaq. Rookie Shaq was a phenom.
Yeah.
What about the stumble Shaq in Cleveland?
Nah, we just talking about a rookie Shaq.
We just talking about rookie Shaq.
Rookie Shaq
was an athletic. Rookie Shaq was an athletic phenom. He was fast, strong, quick, could run the floor.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Him and
it don't matter how
Wemby.
fast, quick, and strong he was. He still wasn't moving like Wemby. He ain't moving like KD.
But see, and that's the thing. You're right, but that's a perfect style of play. Wemby's finesse.
Exactly.
And Shaq is a powerhouse.
Exactly.
And you got a 7-foot, 300-pound powerhouse versus a 7'5", 290, you know what I mean? More finesse, he can shoot. But if you're talking about a fast running the force Shaq, I still don't think Wemby can touch him, because as long as Shaq can put a hand up and play some defense to get a shot to be a little altered, because it's still you're talking about 7'2" versus 7'5". So he's fairly equal, but when it comes to domination, all you got, as soon as Shaq get the ball, Shaq, boom, he goes, puts a body, Shaq can move. Shaq he can dribble too. Shaq might take a dribble.
He can dribble, but he can more dribble like
against a 7'5" dude.
He can more dribble like, if I take this charge, it might be the end of my life.
Yeah,
so I'm gonna just let big man do his thing, and I'm gonna get out the way.
I seen Shaq in a couple All-Star games. Shoot, they got a little video with Shaq crossing up Jordan.
Yeah, I seen that.
And making a jump shot. I seen
it in the warm up.
Yeah, he a little limber.
Yeah, that's all you ever gonna see is in a warm up.
In the All-Star
you ain't gonna see it in the real game. Shaq ain't doing that in no real game.
In the All-Star game, they got one where he had like 4 or 5 assists, man, straight up, where he was crossed over and passed it. Yeah, he did this little thing. Shaq, they got one.
Shaq is probably one of the most dominant big men.
Yeah,
at that low post position. I would take him over all the supreme bigs as far as those type of bigs like Lou Alcindor, Will Chamberlain. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I
think Shaq could beat Wilt too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I think we're good.
I think
match.
Wilt would have gave him buckets too, though.
Yeah, Wilt would have gave him.
I think Kareem would have gave him buckets too.
Kareem definitely gonna get buckets.
You know
Wemby gonna get buckets.
You can't stop with this. You can't stop
Wemby from shooting that three.
You can't stop Wemby. There's nothing he could do to stop Wemby. Period.
If he should move with him, Wemby's not gonna hit on them threes. He might hit a couple of them.
He don't have to hit three. He can hit mid range, bro.
But Shaq gonna be right with him. If you talk about
he ain't gonna be right with him, bro.
Fast Shaq.
He ain't gonna be right with him, bro.
Rookie Shaq is gonna be with him.
He ain't gonna be right. Okay.
Wemby's not that fast.
You think so? You think so?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, go back and watch Shaq versus Hakeem Olajuwon. Let's see what that footwork did to Shaq.
Yeah, he got it.
Let's see what happened.
He got it.
And this is blue chip Shaq. Moving and grooving, big body. Cooked him.
Wasn't that
barbecue chicken. Kareem Olajuwon. Cook Shaq. He's like 6'9".
Hakeem Olajuwon 6'9"?
6'9", 6'10". He ain't no 7-footer. He definitely ain't no 7'5", dude that can move either.
He's 6'9"?
6'9", 6'10".
I did not know that.
Fact check me real quick.
I'm gonna check it. Hold on.
But yeah, bruh. And Kima is one of the greats. But I'm just saying, there's a lot to be.
That's probably why everybody wanted to block you. That's why he got away with those shot fakes. They like
exactly.
You feel me? This dude.
So I think they put too much of a gap on their favorite player. Like my icons are still human. You know what I'm saying?
He's 7 foot. That's what I thought.
Well, Shaq is 7'1", and Shaq was towering over him. So
yeah, Shaq was. Well, they said he was 7'2".
Well, 7'2", but he had more than a 2-inch. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion,
and could jump.
A 2-inch height advantage.
So Hakeem Olajuwon was good, but Hakeem Olajuwon got two.
Dog.
He got two rings.
He was a beast.
But Shaq got 4 total.
Yeah. 5. Yeah, he got Miami.
It's 1 in Miami.
1 in Miami. 3 with the Lakers.
3 with the Lakers. He went with Cleveland when they won. That's it.
You know the crazy thing?
He got 4. Kobe got 5.
Yeah. The crazy thing, he didn't want to be on the show. But then want to give false information.
I know, that's fucked up.
That is fucked up. I see why you didn't want to be on the show, though. I understand. I should pan the camera over there while you fucking that chicken up.
I mean, he's just going to get better.
He definitely is.
He's going to get better. And then, like I said, the way the game is set up, it is set up for people like him. And he can shoot. He could do it all.
He just like, yeah, bro. I mean, like, people put too much emphasis on being a physical basketball player. That's cool. You can be a physical, because I feel like when I was playing, I was a physical basketball player. But there's so much more you can do in the game to nullify being physical. You know what I'm saying? I can be as physical as I want to be. But if you can shoot, if you know how to jab step, you know what I'm saying? If you know how to pump fake, if you know how to space, if you know how to run off of picks, you know what I'm saying? If you have good footwork, if you're a 1-2 dribble person, like there's so much about basketball that you can use that physicality is not going to do nothing.
But see, that's the thing. That's the change that was made. Do you remember, we all went to Harley and played at Harley. Do you remember when the way we were supposed to, when we were in a paint, and somebody runs through, they scream, they cutting through, but we're on defense and we're sitting in the middle of the paint in the zone.
Right.
What are you supposed to do with the screener? What are you supposed to do? When the screener comes through, when we standing and you're standing right there, or not the screener, but you're on defense, and then the offense is swinging through. Right. What are you supposed to do to that man that's swinging through?
You got to switch off for that motherfucker.
No, you're not swinging in the zone. You got to check him. You got to hit him. You got to hit him. You can't do that. See, that right there, that physical right there, you had to, when you brought up to varsity, you got to have some weight on you.
For sure.
You know what I mean? They hit you with that elbow, same thing. You going up, them guys is a little bit stronger. They might knock you on your ass. And then getting hit 3 or 4 times by the fourth quarter, You might got hit in the arm. Somebody might be smart like Dennis Rodman and just keep hitting you on your left arm. Boom.
Right.
Boom. You feel me? And then now it hurt in fourth quarter. It's hard to shoot.
Yeah.
You feel me? Those factors.
You made the adjustment though, right?
Well, you might try to make
the adjustment though. You knew coming in the freshman, you saw what the game was.
Mm-hmm.
So you had 2 years to get stronger and make your adjustment. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So if I'm preparing myself for a certain style of play, I'm gonna prepare adequately.
Right.
If I'm preparing for a game of speed and finesse, then I know I can't come in there overweight. I got to be able to move.
Exactly.
I got to be able to shoot. There's certain things I have to work on.
That's what the game is.
That's what the game is now.
Right.
But if the game was different, then I would prepare differently.
You'll prepare differently.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So I don't think it's a matter of players being able to play this, that, and era. First of all, if these players were playing that style of basketball all their life, there's nothing that the older dudes from that generation would be. If we did a time swap and we took these players of today and they went and played back then with that style of play and they grew up playing that way, there's nothing they would be able to do with them. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. Exactly.
So when you switch eras, but you also switch style of plays, that's when it gets interesting. That's when you can debate because there's certain things that you are able to do now that you couldn't do back then. And there's things that you could do back then that you can do now. And those players were adequate.
It's like both. They both were struggle.
They were both struggle.
They were both struggle.
You know what I'm
if
saying?
You took a whole player and brought them now.
They wouldn't be able
to do shit.
They wouldn't be able to do shit. You know what I'm saying? Kevin Willis would come down. He'd do the little elbow check, foul. He foul out first 5 minutes of the game.
Foul the fuck out.
It don't mean he's trash. It just means that he ain't used to this style of play.
Right.
Now, if you gave him 10 years to get good at this, he would probably be his self. You know what I'm saying? He would be an legitimate NBA talent because physically he would be just as good, just skill-wise. You take these kids and put them back then, they going to run circles around these dudes with all the footwork that they have.
And you know what's crazy is defenders, they get rid of. Remember Josh, was it Childress? Josh Childress?
Josh Childress was the Afro, right?
Yeah, the one that
he was a dog.
He was a top-notch defender. He was the one
for sure
that he'd got in a fight with Kobe because him and Kobe, he would put the clamps on Kobe sometime. And
that's like Rajah Bell.
Mm-hmm. And so they those type of players, they're real physical on the defense. You know what I mean? And this style of play now wouldn't allow it. So those players, you know, they don't exist in the league. You know, they got their time kind of cut short because they weren't able to adapt to, you know, not physical, you know, and just playing defense because now their game is, hey, you ain't playing defense later, but you got to be able to shoot this three.
Yeah.
You feel me? And before they could just get away with being on the court, you could just get a couple layups in and then you got prime defense. Right. That's why we're playing. You know?
The game is better, period. Whether you like it or not, it's evolved. A good defender now would have 3 times as many steals, blocks, and stops in yesterday's game. So who was a good defender back when Jordan was playing? When I think of good defenders, I think of like, they say John Starks was a good defender.
He was all right.
Well, this is back when Jordan's early his career when Reggie was still playing. The Knicks was like the Knicks and the Pacers had the biggest rivalry in the East. You know what I'm saying? The Bulls still ran the East, but it was the Knicks, the Bulls, and the Pacers. Usually coming out of you know, trying to battle who's going to get Eastern Conference Finals.
The Bulls, and the Pistons too.
Pistons had Grant Hill. Like, I don't know. This is before Grant Hill.
Okay.
This is after the Bad Boys and before Grant Hill.
Okay.
So they wasn't really.
Oh yeah, they weren't doing that.
They weren't really doing that. You know what I'm saying?
Who had Stackhouse?
The Pistons had Stackhouse.
Yeah, Jerry Stackhouse.
But this is before Jerry Stackhouse.
Before Jerry Stackhouse.
This is actually like where Isaiah Thomas was playing.
So Isaiah Thomas, Joe Dumars.
But you know, they were done after.
It was getting old.
Yeah, they was done.
It was done.
It was done, bro. Like they had after the Bad Boys.
I mean, Joe Dumars, he the one that he used to put the D.
He was a
Jordan.
He was a dog. Yeah, Joe Dumars was a dog too.
He was a big
so think about
defender.
it. Joe Dumars, one of the better defenders at that time.
Right.
With the moves that they had at that time, the high dribble, you know what I'm saying? The 1-2, that's about as good as you're going to get. The back down, you know what I'm saying, from midcourt. Joe Dumars trying to guard
Allen Iverson.
We're not even going to go elite player. We'll just go somebody who got a good handle. You know what I'm saying? We'll just say De'Aaron Fox, which is good. He's a super good player, but he ain't no Kyrie. De'Aaron Fox. He gave him 50.
Not Joe Dumars.
Bruh, he would have. De'Aaron Fox so fast, bruh, he would have been up and down that court 50. I don't care, bruh.
So you telling me, hold on. So you telling me that if Jordan couldn't score 50 on Joe Dumars, then De'Aaron Fox could?
That's Jordan then. That's Jordan then with the time that they had.
I'm just saying, is Jordan better than De'Aaron Fox?
I think in the mid-range game, Jordan is better.
There are some all-around player. I mean,
all around.
Just offensive player.
Offense.
Do you think De'Aaron Fox is a better offensive player than Michael Jordan?
Do I think that De'Aaron Fox can do some things that Jordan can do? Yes.
Do you think there's just things that Jordan can do that De'Aaron Fox cannot do?
Most definitely.
All right. So if Jordan has a tough time with prime Joe Dumars,
he had a tough time with prime Dumars in like the first 3 years.
Okay.
After that, it was barbecue chicken.
All right.
You feel me?
All right. Okay. Well, but when he got old, but Joe Dumars did his thing though.
Joe Dumars' team did his thing.
No, but he had to defend Jordan.
He
not
definitely
Isaiah Thomas.
He had to defend him, but
Joe Dumars was the main one at the front.
When you have one player versus a whole team that are the defending champions, keep it out. The Bad Boys was running the NBA at that time. They're the best team in the NBA. You got one player going against 5 with those rules to where you get in the paint, I can put you on your back. You know what I'm saying? This ain't no finesse game. You know what I'm saying? You come off a screen, I can hit you with the elbow. I'm checking. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't just Joe Dumars. It's the whole team.
Yeah. What about?
I didn't see Joe Dumars put him on the floor. I saw Rick Mahorn put him on his back.
He did.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Who's the big white dude? I can't remember his name.
I know what the brown.
You know
hair.
what I'm talking about, yeah. But anyway.
It'll
come back. But him, so they beat him as a team. If you were to put Joe Dumars versus Michael Jordan in a one-on-one zone in today's offense, he would have cooked them for 60. Easy, but it was, like you said, it was a different game, different style of play, different defense.
What about Chauncey Billups?
What about Chauncey?
He got the defense. You think he could guard players today?
He could guard players today, but even Chauncey had his time where he was like passing the torch. The reason I say this is because Dwayne Wade, which is, in my opinion, he's the top 5 2 guard of all time. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to find too many 2s that are better than Dwayne Wade. You can give me the big names, Mike and Kobe, but after that, it's super debatable for anybody being better than Dwayne Wade at the 2. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Dwayne Wade himself, and this is why I used De'Aaron Fox, he said he knew I needed to retire when I was playing Sacramento. And I matched up with De'Aaron Fox and the speed that he was moving at. I knew it was time. The game had changed. I knew it was time for me to let go. You know what I'm saying? And when we think of top 10 in the NBA or All-Stars or whatever, De'Aaron Fox is a hell of a player. But he don't pop up in nobody's list, a top 5 right now. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You could throw a Kyrie in there. You could throw there's all kinds of players you could throw in there. But nobody is saying De'Aaron Fox's name. Mm-hmm. And I say that there's a bunch of De'Aaron Foxes in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? That are like that are that good, that get overshadowed by the superstars, that have elite physical ability, that are fast, jump out the gym. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm with that.
You know, what is a Ja Morant going to do to a Mark Jackson? Mark Jackson.
Mark Jackson.
Mark Jackson.
Mark Jackson was all right. He wasn't all that. Eddie Jones was way sweeter than Mark Jackson.
But he was a starting point guard in the NBA.
Yeah.
You feel me? So for you to be a starting point guard in the NBA, you got to put some respect on your name.
I mean, there's a bunch of starting point guards in the NBA that ain't really shit now.
Yeah, but if I were to take all the starting point guards in the NBA from top to bottom in 1991, there's not one of them that I feel like could beat De'Aaron Fox in a basketball game.
De'Aaron Fox is a point guard?
Yeah.
How tall is he? He's like 6'9".
Luka's a point guard and he's 6'7", 6'8".
Yes.
So I mean,
6'10".
Jason Tatum.
But he's
a combination guard. He's like 6'9".
Back then, they didn't have point guards that was like 6'9".
That's what I'm saying. The game has changed.
Yeah,
whether you feel like it's fair or not, these athletes are different. They're taller, faster, stronger. It ain't no 6'3" point guards like that that's really making waves unless you like a super good shooter.
But still, you just match them up to somebody that's more their height.
They didn't have them like that. They would have match them up with power forwards.
But that's what I'm saying.
They would get cooked.
Like if De'Aaron Fox is 6'9", you telling me that him versus Tracy McGrady is what, far-fetched? They're both 6'9", agile, can dribble, dunk. So
he's only 6'3".
Oh, he's 6'3"?
He's 6'3".
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But Tracy McGrady's later down the line. I'm putting him in this line of new players.
Okay.
You feel me? Because his heyday was after Jordan. You know what I'm saying? Like Jordan was still playing basketball.
So what's the cutoff?
I would say the cutoff would be, when did Kobe get in the league? Kobe Bryant.
90.
Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
Let's do this. When did LeBron James get into the league? He entered the NBA in 2003. So we'll do 2003 as the cutoff.
Okay.
From old to current.
Okay.
So all the players from 2003 going forward now, you know what I'm saying, I'm considering them the new school of talent.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And that includes like Dirk was in there, McGrady, like
Ray Allen.
It's the golden era of basketball, in my opinion, with those talents. You know what I'm saying?
So that means that it's declining from now.
No, I don't think it's declining. I think the players are just as good, if not better. I feel like there's more of them, though. I feel like the superstars don't stand out as much because the talent pool is a little bit heavier.
Yeah, well, that's a good.
You know what I'm saying?
But I still, again, very. They make it look. They make it look necessary. You know, like you said, a lot of people got more so they can dribble and do this and that. But really, is it needed to dribble all like that?
It's not.
All right. So we see back in the day, there wasn't, there wasn't real. There's not any. People were going straight to the point. We getting straight to the bucket. Now we done figured out different ways to kind of get the defender off of you. But at this point, we're over, people are overdoing it. It's like, okay, we can see that Wembanyama can take it through his legs and cross over, and that's really nice to see. But really, if somebody's D'ing him up tight and he takes the ball through his legs, they're going to take the ball, especially a smaller guard, because literally, I'm not going to let that ball bounce to his hand. It got to go at least 2 feet. That's 2 feet of space, because he's that tall.
Yeah, but
he has to bend down and get real low. So I'm just gonna get lower.
Yeah, but how tall are you?
I'm 6'4".
You're 6'4". So in my opinion, when we were coming up, you would have been considered a tall guard. Was people taking your candy like that? Because in high school, that's a tall guard. The average guard ain't gonna be 6 feet tall in high school.
Right.
You feel me? Were people taking your candy like that at 6'4"?
No. But
okay,
no.
So I'm saying, like, you that tall. You ain't just get that tall. You've been playing like with that height your whole life. So if you're going to handle that rock, you know how to handle the rock. You've done it enough times. It ain't like you just became 7 feet tall and now I need to learn how to dribble. It's like you've been playing against these short dudes your whole life. And he played professional ball early.
Yeah, right.
In Europe. So I don't think that's as much of a factor, because I done played some tall dudes that I would be like, I think I can rip, and it ain't as easy as I thought it would be, just because they know to pick their spots, they know how to get me off balance, they know what to do. I don't have to do as much as they have to do to dribble. You know what I'm saying? So they already thinking like what they got to do to not get the ball ripped. I just feel like,
I just think you got really bad defense if a 7'5" dude crosses you over.
I wouldn't say that.
I don't see the illusion in something that big. It's going one way or the other.
You're right.
There's no way you're faking me out. But that's me because I'm going to be smaller. I mean, I'm just saying there's a limit to your. I mean, like I say, we seeing them play.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying,
so
bro.
it's like I can't.
It's
say
not.
But I also still believe that it has something to do with the way that they allow people to play defense in the league. You know, if it was the way it used to be a little bit, or if they allowed them to be a little bit more physical, then he would have to get bigger and stronger. Like he'd have to get bigger.
He would have to.
You know what I mean? And
that's
what
he
has to equip. He has to equip himself. And right now, he doesn't have to.
He would make
he can finesse.
Right, he doesn't have to.
You know, and they got to kind of back up, and then he got too much space.
That's
you got to block
bro.
him when he brings the ball up. But if you're not up in his face, you can just allow him to raise the ball up 9 feet over your head when he shoots.
That's the game, bro. Like that's the game. Now, if they make it to where they allow hand checking, they allow you to brush the elbow, they allow certain things, then the players will change their game accordingly.
So that's what that's the kind of like the yin and the yang when comparing the young and the old players, because
it's two different games.
You know, like, okay, if they're going to play each other, who will win against, well, what rules are we going to be setting by? Are we going to set by the old rules? Because really, when we all play basketball, we playing by the old rules.
Yeah, for sure. When we play pickup ball, everybody going by the old rules.
You know what I mean? So if that's what we playing and we going by that, then I think, it's going to be selective players in the new school that I think that they're going to be able to get off what they get off. Shoot.
Yeah, there will be, but I think that people are really underestimating their own personal abilities. And the reason I say that is because the athlete in us remembers what it was like and what the game was like when we was playing. I don't care. It's not really about what level either. It could be high school, college, semi-pro, professional basketball, middle school. If you have kids and we have sons, I compare my son's game to where he's at now to where I was at that age. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Even if I don't want to do it, I just do it automatically because that's the reference I can take. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I can be like, you wasn't doing what I was doing at your age. You wasn't this, you wasn't that. You feel me? But if I'm being honest about it, I would say this. His game is a lot more creative than mine. He's not better than I was, but the stuff he tries to do is a lot more creative.
It's different.
You know what I'm saying? Like he tries to get shots off in a different way, different angles, use different type of footwork. With me, it was like I was really good at what I was good at. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I just went out there, play ball, proficient, get buckets. But there was no James Harden that I can model my game after.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There was no Steph Curry. There wasn't all that. So it was basic, but I was really good at it. I feel like these kids get too much stimuli. And if they just stuck to the basics, learn that, then grow. They don't watch the 3,000 shots.
They're not watching. If you call it basketball, everything to get to where they want to go, they got to learn that basketball because you're watching James Harden, you're learning how to travel.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of these guys traveling or, you know, they got specific shots they know how to shoot, you know, but with bad form. But because they're in the NBA and they make them or whatever, well, it don't work for everybody. You know what I mean? It's just you can try it though, and I think it's pretty cool because that's just the new thing. Like I said, we didn't have these people who the kids kind of can watch and mimic You know, the people that we watched the Mimic and won, we had them.
We had them,
So we
but that was,
mimicking that.
I don't think anybody ever mistook that for real basketball.
But they put it in the game.
We would put it in the games, but we didn't model our whole game after it. We picked up moves to try to do.
Yeah.
But I wasn't shooting like Ayo. I wasn't looking at Ayo shot like I need to shoot like him.
Right.
I look at Ray Allen like I want to shoot like Ray Allen.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I want to do that move. I like that move though.
I want to dribble like hot
I
sauce.
want to dribble like I want to be able to do that hot sauce move.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to be hot sauce.
Exactly.
You feel me?
Exactly.
I didn't want to play like hot sauce. I just wanted to do that. I just try to pick up that move.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the difference between that and now is that they're bringing that style of play to the NBA, and these kids want to be James Harden.
Right.
But they don't understand that James Harden mastered the fundamentals.
And he's traveling.
But he mastered the fundamentals and said, what can I do to be more creative? Because I've already done this 1,000 times.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm going to take it here, and I'm going to try this and get proficient at that. You feel me? So it still started from the old school. It still started from the turf. These kids are not even starting from the turf. They're starting from where he's doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
James Harden, you didn't see the 1,000 shots that he took in the gym. You didn't see the 1,000 single crossovers that he just did to get real good at that dribble. You know what I'm saying? Through the lane,
I'm really astounded to see like some of the kids like when I saw like these NBA players' sons and they were all playing. Those kids play really well. Like they just looking good. But
yeah.
But I'm looking locally at some of these kids, and I went to the park, and some of these kids, they cannot play no basketball. They're not good like how we was good.
Because they don't, like you...
Collectively, like,
you hit
they
the nail on the head.
Ball, man. Like, they don't... They shooting from wherever, trying to, can't even shoot. But they want to shoot that far-ass dumb shot. They can't lay the ball up. They always trying to do some old fancy something, and it's just so boring to watch. It's very seldom you get a group of young boys and then you see them and they all playing and they actually running and playing, serious, because that's how it was when we were growing up.
Yeah,
you go out there and play, man, it was like 2-3 courts, people, they playing,
playing basketball.
And, and the one of them courts was the serious court, like you can't even be on that court.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, they ain't like that no more.
Yeah, because you hit the nail on the head. They don't know how to play basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Basketball is an organized sport, and there's fundamentals to it, and there's spacing. You know what I'm saying? There's positions. There's ways to play your position to benefit the team. You know what I'm saying? Right. There's a certain way that you can technique to box out people. There's a certain way you can defend. There's a certain way that you can run off. Like, there's fundamentals to the game that you get really proficient at learning the game of basketball that have nothing to do with your personal skill set.
And that's the key right there.
You know what I'm saying?
See, that part of the game is lost to Americans.
Mm-hmm.
When they present basketball to those foreign countries and they
play basketball.
Right. They're introducing it like basketball, these positions and this is this.
Right.
And, then they love all to do tricks and stuff with the ball, but they're using it proficiently and still loving the game and learning the fundamentals of the game. So that's why you see them progressing so fast.
For sure.
But for us, when you give us basketball, we just think all we got to do is shoot and that's it. Anybody can be Jordan or anybody can do what these other guys are doing. But they don't know two things about basketball.
Yeah, that's true.
Before they're playing it. And it's like the kids, they think they know because they watch, YouTube.
They watch clips.
Yeah.
And they take them clips and they watch them 1,000 times and that's it. I don't even think, I know my son for sure, he's not watching the actual basketball being played. You know what I'm saying? He's not actually going and watching college games, pro games. He'll watch YouTube clips and he'll see highlights. He'll watch highlights for sure. But he won't he doesn't watch the full game of basketball. And I used to watch basketball games like with my dad and just watch, because it was already on TV. And I seen how you supposed to, a dude drive to the paint. I seen how you supposed to push out to the 3-point line because he might kick it out to you. Like simple stuff like that. When I was coaching, these kids didn't have any type of basketball principle, so it was hard to coach them because it was like teaching somebody how to walk.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like certain things I thought was automatic. You should already know how to do. They don't even know what I'm talking about. Simple spacing, weaving. You know what I'm saying? Pass, weave, pass, cut. You know what I'm saying?
What was the age group?
This was like between 6th to 8th grade.
Whoa.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like by that time, you should already know how to play basketball. We should just be working on sharpening your skills before high school.
And you know what? But this is, I mean,
it doesn't mean they couldn't shoot, dribble, and all that stuff.
The boys, and that's what I'm saying. Like I'm watching the NBA, and we're saying these boys got skills. It's more skills, but really, dude. Now that you're saying it, it's like they can shoot, but are they really better?
Now, there's some dogs. There's some dudes that can play. Jalen Brunson, he's definitely one of them.
Jalen Brunson. Okay.
He plays for New York Knicks point guard.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Absolutely.
He is a dog.
Monster.
You know what I'm saying? And when you watch Luka's game, Luka he has his fundamentals locked, bro. There's nothing you can do with him because he knows how to play the game of basketball. He knows how to get you off balance. He knows how to space it. He knows how to get that shot off. And it's so slow, and you're like, how are they not able to stop this?
But think about a healthy Brandon Roy.
Yeah, but a perfect example. Brandon Roy. You know what I'm saying? A healthy Brandon Roy. Watch his game. Unstoppable. Fundamental. You know what I'm saying? Get to the basket. I was talking about a clip by Al Jefferson. Al Jefferson, I think he used to play for the Timberwolves back in the day. If you watch Al Jefferson play basketball, he takes no more than one dribble. Excessive would be 2 dribbles for him. And he is a walking bucket.
Yeah, straight to the point.
Straight to the point. One dribble, move, bucket. He might not even dribble, move, bucket. One dribble, bucket. I mean, it was impressive to watch, but those things that these kids have right now, I feel like they've expounded on that, but it's too much. They need to simplify the game again. Simplify it, because James Harden, he is a magician with that rock, but Kyrie is a magician with that rock. But start with the regular before you try to attempt
all right, so
that
okay,
stuff.
now James Harden, right now, James Harden, he's good.
Yeah, for sure.
Who is he better than back in the day?
As far as 2 guards?
Yeah.
Everybody. Minus like a Kobe and a Michael Jordan.
So everybody?
He's better than Ray Allen.
He's better than Ray
He's
Allen.
better than a Mike Red. He's better than a Reggie Miller.
Why?
Just give me the names.
Hold on though.
Go back and watch the tapes.
He's better than
A Rip
Michael
Hamilton.
Red?
Yeah, he's better than Michael Red. Yeah, for sure. And when I say he's better, there's respect. I put respect on all those guys' names.
I think that's a good matchup.
They were elite players.
Yeah.
They were all elite players.
Michael Red was definitely, I think he's a super elite player.
Super elite player. Franchise player when he was playing.
Player.
You know what I'm saying?
And
I love Mike Red's game.
He came from Ohio State. He won. He won Final Four.
Yes.
At Ohio State. Then went to what's his name? They worked his way up a little bit.
Worked his way up. Went to Milwaukee. Became a shooter.
You
know what I'm saying?
And stayed there. Now.
Yeah.
They didn't win a championship or anything, but what did he do? He played on the USA team or something. Was he all?
I don't know. He might have though.
I don't know.
Oh, he might have though.
It seemed like he did a little bit more than just because he became the main player on that team.
He was the guy. He definitely was the
Ray
guy.
Allen because he got there when Ray Allen was
And
there.
then Ray Allen left.
And Ray Allen left.
Yeah, he was the guy. Because Ray Allen went to Seattle. Mike Red is a dog.
Hold on. Time out again. Mike, hold on. Ray Allen had the record on threes, or he got some records.
Ray Allen's a dog too.
Yeah. So you think you would take
a prime? We're talking about players in their prime, right?
So you would take
prime.
Steve Harden in his prime.
Who?
When's Steve Harden in his prime?
Steve Harden.
Oh, not Steve Harden, but
James Harden.
Yeah, when's James Harden in his prime? When would you say
Houston
that?
James Harden.
Houston's James Harden.
Houston James
40,
Harden.
40.
Yep. Houston James Harden. I would take him over all those guys.
Okay. And I think that a prime Ray Allen, I don't think he can beat a prime James Harden. I don't think so.
Prime Ray Allen was a dog too, but yeah, like I said, it's a different.
But that's a good matchup, though.
It's a great matchup. I would love to see it.
That would be a good great. But
James Harden, listen. But the thing about these things, these arguments, I mean, with a player like James Harden, when I say he's going to cook them, he's going to cook them. But guess what? They're going to cook him too.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? He's going to get cooked too on the offense, on the defensive end. Because he's not like a defender, period. So he's going to give him 40. They might give him 30.
Ray Allen got defense. Oh yeah. So did he? No. I don't know either.
Like if you want to talk about good defender,
he wasn't a good.
Yeah, right. Like guards that were good at defense.
He
was a shooter.
Especially like
guards that were good at defense that were also good at offense. I think of like a Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
A Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? Like those are guys that played defense and were elite on the offense.
They wanted
a challenge.
Now the only thing I want to say, so because Ray Allen did have a full career. I got a couple other players too. From his full career, at every team he played on.
Right.
Okay. Overall, I think he's a better player than James Harden.
Okay. You can say that.
Only because
his career is definitely better.
I've seen James Harden, like you said, at Houston, that's where he was a dog at.
Yeah, you seen him in L.A.
And then I saw him at Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And Oklahoma,
he was a dog too, though.
But he was a sixth man.
But still, a dog.
Yeah, he was a dog, but he was more like.
That's what got him to Houston.
Right. That's what got him that contract because he was playing so well. But when we say he's playing well, it was like 20 points. It was like the pickup points. He wasn't scoring no 40 or no triple doubles. He came off the bench. And he'd come in there and he'd give you 20.
Right.
You feel me? And so it was like, shoot, we could use him. He can come over here and start. Then he was showing these niggas he can do 40. You feel me? He was dogging out. But after that, you got him over here at Brooklyn. And, and he's scoring, 4 points a game.
Right.
You feel me? You got him over at Philly, and he's scoring 7 points a game. Sometime he might score 20, 30 points. And the next game, he's got 7 points.
Yeah.
Or 0.
Right.
Feel me? And then you take him over. Then you take him over here to LA, and you see what he's doing over there. So it's like, overall, we're gonna look back at it. Totality wise, he's gonna be a lower stock.
Yeah,
than
for sure.
Ray Allen, you know.
Yeah.
And so that to me is an example where today's player that we think is, one of the best is really not better than one of the older players.
Remember I told you that's why I gotta look at the whole career.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I can't take your short stint of 3 years where you was killing the league and then disrespect the rest of the 10 or 15 years you played. Because you can kill for a year and give it your all and give it your best. But how hard is it to do that for 10 years straight?
Yeah.
15 years straight.
Exactly.
Show up play your hardest, stay in shape, you know what I'm saying? Do your
Exactly.
job and be elite for 15 years.
Yeah.
That's hard. And that's where I feel like LeBron, whether you love him, hate him, he's been the utmost professional as far as his career. And he's giving people their money's worth. And he's played his whole career and showed up his whole career. Win, lose, or draw, that motherfucker's giving you his money worth. He never took a year off, never took a day off, you know what I'm saying? He's tried to make his team competitors every year.
I disagree. The only reason I disagree is because, yes, he's great. I agree with all of that except taking a day off. He's the one who is the progenitor of this load management.
No.
Him, Kawhi Leonard.
Kawhi is not LeBron.
He abuses it.
Not LeBron.
But LeBron uses it, and rightfully so. You know, when he turned about 32, he was using it because that's an older player in the NBA, 32, 33. You got guys in there that's 19, 20, 22, 21, 25. He's 32. Right. So I know they started doing load management, and he's been healthier because of it. So, and you see he's playing when he's 39. Most players like Allen Iverson, they was done. You feel me? Their bodies broken down and stuff like that. So that's right. All. That's all I'm saying. Is like the players back then, they played every game. You had Michael Jordan playing with the flu. Falling over and stuff, and he wasn't. And we only talk about him, but he wasn't the only one. Everybody played when he was sick.
Yeah, but the average career wasn't that long
because of that. Because they play, and like you said, they like we said they didn't have load management back then. People, hey, you tape it up, let's go. Broken finger, they wrapping it up, let's go. Now they got arthritis in it.
Right.
The knees and stuff. People not telling the doctor, man, I can still do it. And well, you need to sit this one out. I'm always going to play, you know what I mean? They go out there and be jacked up. These people ain't doing that no more. They sit their butts down.
But you disagree with LeBron, but you brought up Michael Jordan to make a counterpoint, right?
Well, yeah, just an example.
You feel me? But it's Michael Jordan.
I'm just saying that
arguably the greatest player of all time.
Because that's just the example that we're known that the player is going to play no matter what.
Well, that's the only player that you can bring up a legitimate.
I know all of them probably did because they just made a big deal about Michael, but everybody was sick. Everybody would play when they were sick.
But it doesn't matter if you can play 82 games, and if you don't win, it doesn't matter. You played, yes, congratulations. You finished the season. You won 7 games. You played them all. You feel me? Now, you play 82 and you get me to the finals for like 9 years straight, 10 years straight. That's hard. Even with load management, that's hard to do. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, but
that's hard to do. How many players go to the finals?
But you're not playing
9 years straight.
I don't think
it doesn't matter. You can play 60 games. How many players are going to the finals? So that means you play 60 games. You win in every game you play.
If you got all them players, if you got all the best teammates.
No, I'm saying you win in every game you play.
Best teammates in the league. They always get into the finals or contenders. He's good. Plus, he got the supporting cast.
The best team in the league ain't always getting. The best teammates in the league ain't always getting to the finals. You feel me?
I beg to differ.
The best player. Usually, the best player is usually always going to the finals for the most part.
The best team is.
But the best team ain't always going to the finals. Now, the team with the best player or players. He's usually going to the finals,
but that's usually the one with the best. That's the best team.
They will make. Yeah, they make the best team.
What team? What's the best team that didn't make it to the final? What's the best team you can think of that never made it to the finals? I don't think we can name one.
That's a good question.
I don't think we can
that's a great question. So, with that said, I'll make it to the finals. I make my team great. They don't get to the finals. They're not great, right? So it's like live and die on the sword. you gonna give me all the credit for the loss, you got to give me all the credit for the win too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So what I don't like is when players get
credit for losses.
No, not credit for losses, when they get shitted on because they lose. You know what I'm saying? But then you don't give them the credit for when they get there. It's, oh, well, he had this guy, he had that guy, he had got that guy, but he got there and lost. He should have took the last shot. You know what I'm saying? He ain't got the dog in him. He ain't got the killer instinct. So win, lose, or draw, you ain't gonna give him no credit. Period. You feel me?
Those are all valid points. You know what I mean? Like if you are the franchise player for one,
mm-hmm.
if you are the so-called reason we are here in the championship, there's really nobody else. You're the reason,
right?
Then why shouldn't you take the last shot?
So
why should you put the weight on someone else?
So if we lose,
it's on me.
Every time.
Every time. Why? Why not? It's my team.
All right, so
I'm the franchise,
all right?
Cool. I'm the franchise.
So if we lose, it's on me.
All right.
If we win,
it's on me.
But that's not where
all of us, though.
But it's not. It's not on me. It's on my team because I had the best. You feel me?
Yeah,
you see where I'm going?
But you should. It should.
But you
be,
see where I'm going with
that's
this?
the way it should be. But we all know
exactly.
when they win, when the person wins, when a team wins, they go into lead and score, and the franchise player, you know what I mean? They're going to interview them. They're not going to interview the dude that scored 5 points that came off the bench. They're going to interview the lead scorer, you know.
So why is the consensus then? And this is literally for one superstar that is probably going to go down as the GOAT. I ain't never heard this about Mike, and Mike is probably my favorite player of all time. I love Kobe, and I never heard this about Kobe.
Mm-hmm.
Why, when they lose, guess what? Scottie didn't do enough. Rodman didn't get enough rebounds. Luke Longley didn't block enough shots. When LA loses, Kobe was hurt. Derek Fisher didn't play defense like he's supposed to play. You know what I'm saying? Shaq wasn't into it. This, that, and the third. When LeBron loses, it's all his fault.
Where did you hear that at?
No, that's every time he loses, right? It's all LeBron.
No.
So when Kobe lost, was it all Kobe?
No. When Jordan lost,
it was all Jordan.
It was never because Luke Longley wasn't blocking those shots.
I never heard nobody be like, Jordan.
Complain about Luke Longley's game.
Nobody said Jordan shit at the bed, and nobody ever said Kobe shit at the bed.
They would say, this is what they would say. I remember this because they did it by Iverson too.
Mm-hmm.
But Jordan shoot too much. If they lose, Jordan shot him out the game, or Jordan had a bad game. You know, but you can look at you can definitely look at stats and see,
mm-hmm.
you know, hey, this person, you know, is not doing so well, and they probably did this better. But that was Jordan going off on his teammates. You know what I mean? But because he took the blame. It's always the franchise players. You know, it was really looked upon them. Hey, you're the one that's leading this team.
Right.
If we're not winning, we need a new franchise player. Everybody else is role players. So, and they're role players for a reason. You know what I mean? So that's why I said, like, yeah, like it is their fault. And yeah, if LeBron loses, it should be his fault. So he gets on a team where you know, I felt like every team was catered and made for him. Where, you know, I don't feel like the Bulls was catered and made for Jordan like that. It was just pieces to a full puzzle. We need a shooter. We need a good, tall, you know, point shooting guard, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
We need, you know, they got Tony Kukoc. You know, that was a big win for them when they traded.
For sure, Tony Kukoc was a big addition to the squad
because he could shoot.
Yeah, and they built a team around him.
And Tony Kukoc, for real, was actually good. Like, he was a good player.
Yeah.
So, you know, you think about you look at all those players though, they're not like Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade, Ray Allen, all that. And then you look at
Ray Allen was a Tony Kukoc. Actually, Tony Kukoc was better than Ray Allen.
No, not at all.
And on in the Chicago Bulls versus Miami, he played a way bigger part for the Chicago Bulls than Ray Allen played for Miami.
Tony Kukoc.
What did Ray Allen do for Miami that was so important besides knock down? When he needed to knock down a jumper.
That was basically Steve Kerr and John Paxson's game. But Ray Allen.
Okay, so they had 3 Ray Allens then. So they had 2 Ray Allens.
John
and then
Paxson and Steve Kerr weren't there at the same time.
Yes, they were. So they had.
No, it wasn't. Steve Kerr came
after John Paxson.
Yeah.
Okay, so he had 2 Ray Allens then. You know what I'm saying? But they were consecutive. And then he had Tony Kukoc. In my opinion, Tony Kukoc played a way bigger role than Ray Allen did for Miami Heat during their championship run.
Remember, Ray Allen is already coming on. He already is a champion.
Exactly.
Tony Kukoc wasn't never a champion until he was a champion.
Yeah, but he was young though. You got to think about the time in their career.